I don't know that it could turn into a hot war, but I could see them going in that direction. They're crazy enough to do it. They hate Trump enough. If Trump keeps pushing and he keeps pushing, they're just all going to get mad enough that they're going to do that. They're going to try to start some sort of, and
This
then you'd
is
have Trump's army surrounding them, you know?
this is one point I want to make on the Civil War possibility, which is that Neil Howe has a number of times lately brought up a book by a woman named Barbara F. Walter, not to be confused with the reporter.
Barbara Walters.
She's a scholar of international politics, international conflict, and her specialization is civil wars. She came out with a book, I want to say in late 2021, early 2022, called How Civil Wars Start. And to read the last chapter of Barbara F. Walters' book will send a chill down your spine. Every single scenario she draws up, thinking of how America could have a second civil war, it's all partisan slanted. It all presumes that one side will start it or will be otherwise responsible. And I've heard Neil Howe cite her repeatedly,
No, see, that's the thing is
which to me, I just can't hold with that.
I couldn't read that book because what I've learned about the left in the last few years is that that fear that they have is dangerous. That hysteria that they have. And I listen to my friends and I'm like, that's why I call it a doomsday bunker because they're like the Koresh family when the FBI showed up, right? They're that level of scared that everything's coming. You watch them on TikTok, they're sobbing. They're so hysterical. They really think that Trump is Hitler. They don't know history. Neil Howe would have been right if things had gone differently and the Democrats were the ones trying to take away guns, let's say. That could have started a civil war. But the Republicans have won. They're in power. So the people who are going to start the war are the ones out in the street being violent, and it's not the right. The violent riots have been coming from the left since 2015, and they're getting worse, and no one talks about it on the left. They still think they're the good side, but they're violent. They're lighting Teslas on fire. They're happy. They've already started a civil war. They started it in 2020 when they took to the streets and they created autonomous zones and they burned buildings and looted and did anything they wanted. And the Democrats just said, burn, baby, burn. Do it. We want it to be chaos because we want to get Trump out. They haven't stopped. You know, it's all about all that that was shoved down their throats while they were in school. They can't unthink it now.